This video is dedicated to Deja Shade. A huge shout out to Deja Shade for supporting the channel. Obeka Brute Chronologist versus Saffi Eriksdotter. My attempt at a cEDH deck. We've got some counter magic there ad nauseum we might be able to get into in a few turns, so let's keep that. Alright, well there's a combo piece already, Isochron Scepter. There's a number of things that we can put under that. Let's go for the Talisman of Dominance. Might just go for our commander next turn. And then it's Enlightened Tutor from our opponent. They're down to 4 cards in hand. Why don't we just... I think we do go for Force of Negation onto that. Or Force of Will even. You need to remember to put Force of Negation in this list if you want to play the deck. I haven't put it in here because I don't know how well cEDH will be adopted by the viewers of the channel. So I'm certainly not going to drop $80 on one of those if I'm not going to make much use of it. Let's go for that. And we've got Demonic Consultation, yet another combo piece. This is a combo deck, as you've no doubt figured out by now. And what we want to do really is go either infinite turns with Isochron Scepter. We can have infinite cast triggers with Dramatic Reversal and go for Grape Shot. That will obviously give us infinite storm and infinite damage. And then Demonic Consultation is part of the combo with the Oracle. Alright, so we might just have to set up ad nauseum in this case. Let's go like that. And that. And we can always go for Demonic Consultation if we want to. We might as well hit our opponent for 3 here. Don't often win with this deck in combat, but we'll swing in like that. I have asked my opponents to bring strong decks, so hopefully our opponent is going to do exactly that. Don't know if they'll play their commander into open blue mana. Okay, Defense of the Heart. We're not likely to control all that many creatures. I think it cares about 2 creatures, doesn't it? Yeah, 3 or more creatures, so we're never going to control that many. Let's just hold off on the Demonic Consultation for now and we'll go for Ad Nauseam. Don't mind a command tower at all. We'll go for the Ad Nauseam right now and try to get into some kind of combination of cards. We can play that Sol Ring this turn. Muddle and Mixture could set us up for infinite turns next turn. Might just go for that. Yeah, I think we're okay to stop there. Let's just leave it at that. Drop the Sol Ring. And the Lotus Petal. We'll go for Chrome Mox as well. And we'll get rid of a blue spell. Can get rid of the Spell Seeker. And then we'll transmute now. I'll try and show you the Isochron Scepter line of winning. I think we could have gotten an Oracle win off here actually by going for Imperial Recruiter, because we've got the Demonic Consultation, but I think we've all seen that a million times in cEDH, so let's go for this instead. Final Fortune is the instant version. Last Chance is the sorcery version. We want the instant version underneath the Isochron Scepter. And then with 1 mana floating, there's nothing we can do, so let's go like that. Swinging at our opponent again. And we will get rid of the Snap. Polluted Delta. So now we've got access to a few ways to win. Like I said, we can go Isochron Scepter for infinite turns with the Final Fortune. Our opponent goes for Beast Whisperer. And then in for their commander. So we win next turn by the looks of it. But yeah, infinite turns would be either trying to set up infinite mana and then go for a big X spell in Torment of Hellfire. Or we could just go for the Oracle win. Yeah, so let's drop that. Go for the Isochron Scepter. Go Final Fortune. And then we'll activate the Isochron Scepter. And our opponent sees what we're about to do. I would have just shown that as an example a couple of times. We would have drawn into a couple of cards each time we did that, or one card for each turn, obviously. But after showing my opponent that, if they still didn't scoop, I just would have gone for the Oracle and Demonic Consultation win, which is, for those of you who don't know, play Oracle, and with its ability on the stack, empty your library by naming Forest or another card that isn't in your deck, and you'll empty your library. Oracle will see that when it resolves, and you'll win that way as well. So like I said, just trying out some cEDH stuff. This is a multiplayer deck, so it's not really for 1v1, but I'm just playtesting it here, trying to wrap my head around it because I'm not much of a cEDH player. Let's try another one. Still running Obeka, of course, this time up against Scion of the Ur-Dragon. Again, I have asked my opponents to play strong decks. We'll keep that. This is obviously for multiplayer, that's why the training centre is in here. Just have to play that as a tap land. Luckily, we've got other lands to play. So let's go for Shivan Reef, and we'll go for the Ponder. And there's a Thassa's Oracle on top, so we can... This gets us a spell, doesn't it? Yeah, so we can actually set up a Thassa's Oracle win here. Let's go Limdul's Vault. We'll go for Thassa's Oracle and play the Talisman of Dominance next turn. Certainly don't want to shuffle. And our opponent scoops on turn 1, so apparently a turn 1 Ponder is way too good for them. But what we would have done there is gone for the Talisman we would have drawn into here, then the Oracle next turn, play the Talisman and the Mana Vault next turn. And then how much mana would we have had? 3 lands, 6 and 7 with the Talisman. So then that is Spellseeker. Don't think we would have had enough blue mana to go in for the Oracle as well. If it was in multiplayer, we would have done, because this would have come in untapped. But yeah, anyway, we might have been able to win the turn after, I'm not sure. Well, hopefully, third time's a charm. This time up against Anafenza the Foremost. We have no lands there, so let's mulligan. And alright, that's a lot better. I actually don't know what to get rid of there. Maybe we just concentrate on getting down Wheel of Fortune. So let's get rid of a Serum Visions. And we'll go Underground Sea. Go for Spellseeker. I think what we do here is go Spellseeker for Demonic Tutor. And then we can go for Demonic Tutor onto the Oracle, Vampiric Tutor onto Demonic Consultation. Or we could just get Demonic Consultation with this and get the Oracle with the Vampiric Tutor. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So grab the Demonic Consultation. Put a stop on the upkeep. And fortunately it's not 1 mana discard. They're going for the Birds of Paradise. We will go for the Vamp Tutor. And we still need to get mana off the top, unfortunately. But we'll try and set this up. We'll get the Thassa's Oracle now. And then it's City of Brass. And of course we could go for the Wheel of Fortune now, but then we get rid of our combo pieces. So we'll just leave it at that. We're really wanting a piece of black mana next turn, because we'll be able to win on turn 3 if we do. That switches off our infinite turns, unless we can get into the artifact, Infinite Sundial, I think it's called, something like that. Okay, unfortunately not. Might as well play that, I suppose. And then our opponent goes Path to Exile. That's probably one of the worst things they could have done, so now we can get the black mana that we need. We've got 1 of each basic, 1 of each card. Obviously it's a singleton format, but we don't have any basics duplicated up, so that we can empty our library easily with things like Demonic Consultation. Although the vast majority of the time we're just naming Forest with this. And there is Anafenza the Foremost. We're about to exile our own graveyard, or our own library even, so don't particularly care about Anafenza. And that is fine to swing in, don't care about that either. So what we do here, if Magic Online hasn't changed at all, we should just be able to hold control. in order to hold priority. And there's Counterspell, not needing that either. We go blue, blue, and then it is Thassa's Oracle. Allow that to hit the field and its ability will trigger. And then in response to that we go Demonic Consultation. Anyone who has played cEDH has seen this a million times, but I don't typically see it in a game of Commander. So I'm assuming some of you haven't either. We name Forest. Obviously there's no forests in our library, so that will exile everything from our library. Go down to 0 as we can see there. And then Thassa's Oracle. We'll see that we've got no cards in the library and we get the win. And there we are. Like I said, I asked for cEDH decks and people either didn't know what they were or they just fancied their odds against a cEDH deck. Just play testing this. This is a multiplayer deck. I have things like the Red Elemental Blast in here and stuff like that, which will often be dead cards. There's the 2 Red Elemental Blasts. I can't remember what the other one's called. But they'll often be dead cards in 1v1 because you don't always get blue players at the table like you do with multiplayer cEDH games. Anyway, be sure to let me know if you'd like to see this game played in multiplayer. I think I will give it a test run with some of the patrons. If they're up for it at the weekend, I'll have to ask them. Leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the deck. Links in the description as ever. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.